Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something completely fascinating and honestly a little explosive. We're decoding a May 2026 intelligence briefing from futurist and post-labor economist Thorsten Mayer. His main argument? We've officially crossed a threshold he calls the coding singularity, and the ripple effects of this are massive. It's literally forcing businesses to completely pivot their survival modes away from raw engineering and over to distribution. We're going to unpack exactly what the data is telling us, how the landscape is shifting under our feet, and most importantly, what this structural overhaul means for your business.
Right out of the gate, get a load of this number, 93.9%. This is the staggering statistic you need to wrap your head around today. As of May 2026, the AI model Claude Mythos Preview hit a 93.9% saturation rate on SW Bench verified. Now, if you're not familiar, SW Bench basically tests an AI's ability to resolve real-world GitHub issues. So, what does a near 94% success rate actually signal? It means that routine cognitive software engineering on familiar code bases is virtually a solved problem. The AI is handling the vast majority of standard developer tasks at near-human or, in some cases, superhuman levels.
To make sense of this massive shift, we've broken down today's executive briefing into 5 quick parts. 1. The AI coding singularity. 2. The 5-tool stack. 3. Restructuring talent. 4. Redefining moats. And 5. The executive playbook. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the AI coding singularity, and what this capability threat actually means for the industry. Meyer defines this coding singularity using a really brilliant analogy. He calls it the canary in the coal mine. You see, it's super tempting to think this is just a story about writing code, but the coding capability, that's just the visible canary. The real structural event, the mine itself, is the recursive self-improvement loop of automated AI R&D. Think about it. If AI systems are good enough to write complex code, they're absolutely good enough to automate the research and development required to build the next, smarter generation of AI. Coding is simply the first wedge making this recursive loop operational. And guys, this is happening fast. The capability curve is steepening drastically. According to updated metric time horizons, which measure how long a task an AI can autonomously complete, agent capability is now doubling every 4.3 months. Let that sink in. Leading models are already breaking metric's 16-hour autonomous task measurement limit. The models are literally outgrowing the instruments designed to measure them. This proves the trajectory isn't slowing down anytime soon. It's accelerating exponentially. Moving on to part 2, the 5-tool stack. Let's look at how this raw capability is manifesting in the real world right now. Remember that Cambrian explosion of dozens of different AI coding startups? Well, it's rapidly collapsed into a powerful 5-tool oligopoly. We've got Claude Code dominating complex reasoning, Cursor taking over as the ultimate multi-file IDE, GitHub Copilot leveraging its massive existing enterprise footprint, OpenAI Codex thriving as a cloud task runner, and Devin pushing the absolute boundaries of extreme agentic autonomy. The crucial takeaway here is that the economics of AI coding are not commodity economics. Not at all. They are platform and brand economics. These 5 tools are completely dominating the market with massive distribution moats and incredibly high switching costs. But here's the thing, deployment isn't just a flat line across the board. The coding singularity is highly bifurcated by sector friction. Frontier AI labs are sitting at basically 100% adoption. AI native startups are right on their heels at 90%. Big tech is hovering around 70%. But then you look at regulated industries, places like healthcare, finance, defense, and they are lagging way behind at just 25% adoption due to heavy compliance constraints. So the capability of the AI is universal, but your deployment reality, that's entirely dictated by your industry's friction. Okay, part 3, restructuring the talent market. This isn't just theoretical, it's happening to real jobs right now. Here's a pretty stark reality check. Since the late 2022 peak, employment for entry-level developers has absolutely plummeted. By early 2026, junior job postings dropped from 22% of all developer postings down to just 12%. Major tech firms have cut fresh graduate hiring drastically. Why? Because these new AI tools are successfully automating the exact routine cognitive work that historically served as an apprenticeship for junior engineers. The work is definitely still getting done, but it's being done by AI instead of humans. So what's the playbook for developers? Meyer lays out a very explicit strategy. You must abandon raw, monolingual coding skills. Being just a good, raw coder is now a depreciating asset. Instead, junior developers must urgently pivot to becoming bilingual engineers. This means combining architectural judgment, system design, and communication skills with the ability to orchestrate AI agents. Code quality matters way less than code review quality right now. You have to step up and manage the AI, not try to compete with it. To really put this structural margin pressure into perspective, let's look at the math. The cost difference is visceral. A traditional human junior engineer costs $50,000 or more a year. An AI agent performing those same routine tasks, around $10 a year in compute costs. $10. This is pure labor substitution math that businesses simply cannot ignore. It's forcing an immediate restructuring of how engineering teams are built and funded from the ground up. Which brings us to part 4, redefining SaaS business moats. Let's look at how executives need to rethink defensibility. Look, if building software is dropping toward the literal cost of compute, raw engineering capacity is entirely obsolete as a business moat. Anyone can build the software now. Long-term survival relies on completely different attributes. We're talking massive distribution channels, proprietary data network effects, deep domain specialization, regulatory expertise, and a highly trusted brand. If your software company's main advantage used to be we have a great engineering team, you are highly vulnerable right now. You have to pivot to customer relationships and distribution. Meyer hit the nail on the head with this quote, highlighting a severe investment risk. He says, "The middleware layer is the new moat-rich layer in the software stack. Tools like Cursor and Claude Code, the platforms actually providing these AI capabilities, are the ones extracting the immense economic value that used to belong to standard engineering organizations. For investors and businesses, relying entirely on a specific underlying model is a massive risk. The true value and the true defensibility have migrated up to these middleware platforms acting as the interface between the AI and the enterprise." Finally, part 5, the executive playbook. Let's bring all this intelligence together into a tactical roadmap. Here are your 3 crucial marching orders to navigate this shift. 1. Upskill your talent pool immediately. Shift your teams away from manual coding and retrain them for architecture and agent orchestration. 2. Aggressively pivot your SaaS moats. Stop relying on software features to save you and shift your enterprise value strictly toward distribution, brand, and deep domain expertise. And 3. Mitigate your middleware dependency. You need to be highly strategic about which platforms you build your operations on so you don't get squeezed by the new 5-tool oligopoly we talked about earlier. But listen, the clock is ticking. You do not have unlimited time to make these changes. Meyer's briefing injects a very real sense of urgency, highlighting a strict 32-month transition window. Right now, we are at the capability inflection point. Over the next 12 to 24 months, we are going to see mass market deployment. And by month 32, a new post-transition equilibrium will be locked in. The decisions you make during this brief, critical window will absolutely determine where your business stands in the new automated economy. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. The coding singularity isn't some distant sci-fi future. It is a current, operational, structural overhaul happening right now, today. The cost of software is collapsing, and the true economic value is moving to distribution and architecture. So the ultimate question you need to ask yourself is this: will your institution adapt its moats in time, or will you simply be engineered out of existence? Thank you so much for joining this explainer. I really hope this gives you exactly what you need to navigate the transition ahead.